I think we should abolish jail and we should allow all the violent immigrants
We should allow them to what?
stay here.
Do you think that we could abolish jails, get all the violent immigrants? Could we put them here at USF on campus?
Yes, and I'll hang out with them.
You'll hang out with them? Would you take in
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy! City boy!
Bruh, this is so ignorant. What I heard in the first 16 seconds is ready to make me, I don't know. I feel like this is trolling, but I know this isn't. I know that legitimate college students on college campuses think this way. And the only way you could think this way is if you were privileged enough to be sheltered from the criminal element in your life. If you've seen this shit that I've seen in the streets from, so I didn't have to see this stuff. I'm going to be forthright. I grew up, long story short, didn't listen to much music. I was into martial arts, into a bunch of different things as a kid. And then I got introduced to hip hop when we retired in Colorado, right? And I started listening to it pretty hardcore from, I guess, I'm going to say 14-ish, right? And it was just my life. And both my parents had to work, so it started to raise me. And me and all my friends started leaning into, because this was the gangster rap time, the 90s, right? So, this is like 94, 95. So that's the path I headed down, right? And I didn't even head down the deep darkness, right? With the where you can talk about the cartels and people being beheaded and just the wild stuff. I was around the basic gang member gangs BS, people selling drugs, people getting shot, people fighting, people thieving, stealing, those type of things. That's what I saw firsthand. Then I started my rap career. And when I started my rap career, I was moving and shaking. I saw less of that because I chose to not rap about, I wasn't a gangster rapper, right? I was a hip hop head, So I saw less of that, but still I would throw concerts and promote club nights. And some of the things you would see and pop off, I had to bear witness to these things. There's never in 1 million years where I would say I would never. And again, my version is a little more watered down, way more watered down than someone who lives in these I was watching this Nick Shirley video. Actually, we're going to do that one next, where he was in Chicago talking to these gang members. Bro, this shit, it's insane, bro. And anyways, to say what she just said, actually, I should pull up that video. I'm going to play this and pull that video up while she's talking. Because what she's saying is totally, actually, we'll do that on another video. It's totally absurd. I'm ranting this much. Anyways, this is on Asmongold Clips channel. Go rock with him. He's killing it. And I'm Black Pegasus. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Link in the description of my other channels. Let's go.
What's this?
I think we should abolish jail and we should allow all the violent immigrants.
We should allow them to what?
Abolish jail? What? She does know that people that I don't know if it's nature or nurture. I think it depends on how a person's raised. But violent criminals are not playing around with you, with anybody. And they will take over. Just like in Mexico, they've literally taken over the government. The government, it's 50-50 or 60-40, 60 cartels. The cartels are taking over Mexico, and this is just right next door to us. It's not a game. They will gain power, and they will F you up. Have you ever seen a Road Warrior like Mad Max? Those dudes are just taking it. You remember the first scene in Road Warrior? What they do to that girl on the side of the road? Bruh, come on, man.
Stay here.
Do you think that we could abolish jails, get all the violent immigrants? Could we put them here at USF on campus?
Yes, and I'll hang out with them.
You'll hang out with them? Would you take in a violent MS-13 gang member? Would you room with one?
People give people labels all the time, and gangs are there for a reason. Gangs are there for community, and they're there because, listen, gangs are formed for a community. They're formed Because
Well, yeah, it's a community. It's a community of people that kill each other. But yeah, the Taliban is a community.
because they're lacking something, and that they couldn't
Drug
find,
cartels and human
Okay,
trafficking and
listen,
sex trafficking
no,
and gang raping.
No, that's a byproduct of human evil.
If someone came into
All right. So let me clarify something. Don't go crazy in the comments. Just hear me out. There is an extreme difference between the cartels. So homegirl on the right with the curly hair, absolutely right, 100. What the young lady, the light-skinned black lady, was trying to convey with the community thing, she's absolutely wrong in present day. She's absolutely wrong. So I agree with everyone going crazy in the comments like, this chick is crazy. She is. But what she was trying to allude to is why gangs came together and in Oakland. That's what I think. And for anyone who doesn't know, the Black Panthers, so gangs was a ripple effect from the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers, because of abusive patrolling from police, blah, 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 the Black Panthers were formed in Oakland, California, I believe. And it was about, food programs for black kids, to help neutralize, brutality with police, etc. at the time. There's going to be a bunch of people that jump in the comments and be like, no, they're going to equate today's police brutality, which is you guys get it. Well, some of y'all get it. But anyways, today's police brutality is not what it was back then in that time, because again, the racial component, the racial barriers have gotten better throughout time, right? So what I'm trying to say is just because a white cop shoots a black person today, that does not mean the white cop is racist. There's a lot of context. You have to look at that and just see, okay, what really happened. However, the left will typically say white cop, black person, racism, right? I get it. However, we're talking about a different time period, and there was brutality going on within the police force, even the communities back then. You can't compare I believe it was Oakland. Let me just double check to make sure I'm not giving y'all some false narrative, because I'm kind of going off of memory. The Black Panthers started in Oakland, correct? Question mark. And maybe they didn't start, maybe they had their presence. Yeah, that's correct. The Black Panther Party was founded in Oakland in 1966 by Huey P. Newton. So I knew Huey P. and about him, but this is all from just memory. And when you talk about so many different things just pop up. But anyways, I believe that's what she was getting at, because I believe the Crips were formed from the Black Panthers. Didn't the Crips or other gangs develop from the Black Panthers? I don't know if that's the right way to say it in there. The short version, yes, there's a connection, but it's indirect. The Black Panther Party in Oakland was very political and community focused. They weren't a street gang. They were a revolutionary organization with structured programs and an ideology. Basically what I was saying, they said it way better, but that's how the Black Panthers, but what happened was they were infiltrated. Yeah, the Black Panthers were infiltrated. You know how you guys talk about J6 being infiltrated by Central Intelligence agencies? Well, the Black Panthers were infiltrated and they killed all their leaders. And without leadership, this was a derivative of turning into gangs. That's why it said yes indirectly. Then it wanted to give context. And I believe that's what that young lady was trying to convey when she said community, because she's going to sound like a complete moron in a clip, which she kind of still sounded like. But I just wanted to preface that because there's always more to what's here. Look into COINTELPRO and all those things. You see these fools like Charlie Kirk saying wild shit like, oh, they had a choice, right? So when they started putting crack or cocaine and guns in the environment, Charlie Kirk's response is, well, you have choice. You have personal choice. And they chose to pick up those drugs and they chose to pick up those guns. But this is the same dude who will say they should ban queer books and all this stuff out of school. Why? Because they influence, right? I'm not saying they didn't have a choice to pick up the guns and the drugs. However, when you spread it out in the environment and there's influence, people lean into it. And they know that. They know that. But it's just people get kind of wild. And I like some of Charlie Kirk's points. He makes some really valid points, but sometimes he'll be off because he just gets too caught up in his one-dimensional thinking. That, well, I wouldn't say one-dimensional, but he's just, you know, I don't know. There's certain things where I'm like, yeah, he's tripping on this, but it is what it is.
To your house that was just walking through, sit
That's
down,
not
watch
a
a
good
TV.
metaphor. This country was built on stolen land.
Who owned
Oh
it?
Lord, if we hear the stolen land thing again, man, what are we talking about, dog?
No, that's a byproduct of human evil.
If someone came into your house that was just walking through, sit
That's
down,
not
watch
a
a
good
TV.
metaphor. This country was built on stolen land.
Who owned it?
No one owned it. That's the thing. This is
Always
the
stole-
If no one owned it, how can it be stolen? And again, I said this in another video. I kind of went off the rails, but the truth is the truth. Before Europeans and people came here, you know, there were native tribes. And if you are on land and you ran out of resources, typically you'd go find more resources. And if you couldn't, you would feud with another tribe who had resources to take theirs. So they were doing the same thing. It was just a little less organized. Through time, we got more organized, and technology advanced certain folks to be able to conquer certain things. And one of those technologies really is just guns, right? Gunpowder, and gunpowder came from China. I always get confused to Japan or China, but I'm pretty sure gunpowder came from China. But it's just ironic who used these technologies the best, like who put these ideas together and went and did their thing. It was just a timing, an opportunity thing, you know? Like you see that, I see that in the music industry. It's sometimes timing, luck, opportunity, but a lot of it's timing. It doesn't mean they're genius or superior or anything like that. It's just timing, and technologies came together and people used those technologies to their advantage when they were settling in these new places.
Stolen. Who do we take it from?
people who lived here.
Like who?
Forcibly evicted him. The Native Americans.
We technically didn't evict the natives. We did have hella drama, right? A lot of them passed away from disease, and there were, you know, battles, but they didn't get evicted. They got land. They have casinos. They still live here. Or am I tripping? Let me know if I'm tripping. Now, I'm not saying that's what they wanted. Like, I personally wouldn't want to live on shitty casino land. I want land in the Rockies of Colorado, like beautiful, gorgeous land with potential gold and water on it. However, you get what you get. I don't know the answer there, right? But to say we evicted them when they all still live here, and a percentage of them actually don't really take a part in American society, because if they did, they'd see the same advantages that anyone else. I think the biggest story is Black America. I think when you think of folks coming here as slaves, and not all of them were slaves, blah, 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 but let's take the sect that was slaves and them rising up, getting out of slavery, getting rights, civil rights, and then the American system propping Black voices up as some of the most influential voices in the world. I think that's pretty dope, personally. That's just me, though.
Which tribe?
Man, should abolish jail? I think that we need to have a policy where anybody that says and thinks stuff like this has to live with one of these people. Feel like a lot of this stuff would go away real quick. Either it'd be gone or they'd be gone. I hate these people so much, bro. Like, and the reason why, they advocate for things that will kill other people. That's the reason why I hate them. And they do it because it makes them feel good. Like, these people are sitting in some safe college campus. Nothing bad's ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
What's this?
I mean, he's absolutely right. Like I said at the beginning, they were privileged enough to be sheltered from violence and crime. So they think in a way that's just ridiculous. Like, bro, I've seen shootouts. I've been in shootouts. I'm good. I keep my family as far away from that nonsense as possible. And the fact that they would even say that, they have no fucking clue what could happen to them. And, you know, it's always like that because experience is the best teacher. And what I noticed is most college kids don't have experience. This is why a lot of times people will get hired over them, because they lack experience. They're only book smart. And and that's where I come in, because I'm not over here acting like I'm the smartest, you know, person in the world. But what I am is resourceful, communicative, and street smart. And that's how I've gotten all my success. I am not an academic by any means. And I'm not saying being an academic is bad. I think that's really good, actually. Sometimes I look up to people like, damn, they're so book smart. Like, they just get it, you know? But it doesn't mean you're dumb because you're not academically or a scholar in that field. And this is a great demonstration of that, right? Eventually, these chicks could be getting master's degrees, and they're still going to have this form of thinking at some capacity without the lived experience, without being in the ghetto, without being in the trailer park, without being in the hoods, without being in these poverty, violent areas. And you know what? I'm tripping because you can be in poverty-stricken areas and there not be violence, right? That's a culture. That's a lot of times a culture thing. Well, because I've been to other countries where there have poverty and that, you go to, and there's just not that element as in depth as what I've seen in other places. But anyways, y'all let me know what I got, what I missed. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.
City boy, city boy.